Welcome back to another day of 5-minute WooCommerce videos. This one today, we're going to be talking about downloadable products and the product settings to be able to configure them. It should be really quick. If you don't mess with downloadable products, then you don't have to worry about it at all. So just disregard this and you can move on to the next video or enjoy the rest of your day. If you do use downloadable products or you want to learn more about how you might want to use downloadable products, we will definitely cover that in future videos. But this is kind of the general settings area. In order to get caught up, if you're not following along with us, go to your admin panel inside of WordPress, go down to WooCommerce, and then settings, products, and then downloadable products. And that'll get us right here. Once you are on this page, you'll have three options here. Basically, the method in which people can download from your server, the access restriction, basically who's allowed to download a file and how, and then the file name, and we'll get to that a little bit as well. This here file download method basically is how the server is configured to be able to provide that file to people. If you don't know um, how your server is configured or much about any of that, then I'd recommend just using forced downloads. That's what we're going to use. That's what we use as default anyway when we set up client sites. But this one here allows us to be able to set it up easy. If you're on any kind of hosting, shared hosting, managed service, or your own dedicated server, forced downloads will essentially work pretty much without any issues or really any advanced configuration or anything like that. If you want to learn more about that, just click this link and then that will basically bring you to how to be able to set it up, what the other options mean and all that good stuff. This option here is a redirect as a backup. So if forced downloads breaks for whatever reason, then it will redirect that user to that download file and then they can download it from there. This is an insecure option. I don't like to use this personally. If I like to use this and if it fails, I want that user to reach out to me by creating a support ticket and saying, hey, I can't access this because it's probably a server configuration that's blocking that download. So we want to fix that because if it's happening to them, almost guaranteed it's going to be happening to other people too. That's just me. Obviously, you handle that however you want. For access restriction, downloads require a login. What this basically is you have to log in as a user in order to be able to access and download your files. If you have this unchecked, then the link that's emailed out to them in their email or their order confirmation email will give them access to be able to click a link, and it's basically a quick download. The problem with that is that link then also allows anybody in the world who happens to have that link to be able to then download your products. So if someone buys your product and then shares that link on the internet, well, unless you have restrictions saying that they can't do that, now potentially everybody in the world has it and they don't have to pay you because somebody else did and then just shared your link. I prefer to require the login, but your business model might be different, so definitely do that with whatever makes most sense for your business. Grant access to downloadable products after payment. So there are multiple statuses for each order inside of WooCommerce. And what this basically is, the processing status is basically I went in, I purchased something, I made the payment, and it is now sitting in processing. Basically, this is typically for like physical products. So like I made the payment and now your team has to pick the item off the shelf, package it, bundle it, pack it, or ship it, and then they can mark it as completed. This setting here, since downloads don't always require some custom thing or no shipping or anything like that because it's downloadable, you can check this checkbox to say as soon as you pay, you have access. If you uncheck that checkbox, then there's a manual step that you have to go in and say, oh, yep, that person who paid for it, they can now have it. And then they'll get an email as soon as it's marked as completed that they now have access to that product and so on and so forth. And if you have this unchecked and that checked, then they'll have to log into the account to be able to then download it. It just creates a little bit of a hassle. So I like to have that one checked. The file name, append a unique string to a file name for security. There's a little guide that kind of goes into that, but I like to keep that checked, and you can definitely read up on more on that. So once you've done that, go ahead and click Save Your Changes, and you're all set.